Listen, you think just because Georgia's not playing this weekend, it don't mean nobody's playing this weekend. In fact, several people are playing this weekend. Many teams, in fact, are playing this weekend, and
Got a whole card full.
I'm going to bet on them. Let's talk about some football this weekend. Let's see who you should be picking and who you should be fading today on Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode brought to you by Jace Medical. More on them in a moment. Thanks, Jace Medical. Appreciate you and everything that's going on with your company. But I appreciate gambling. I appreciate the card this week. I appreciate betting on college football because it's glorious. It's fantastic. It combines so many things, making money and college football and
those things. Talking
about other teams. We don't have to emotionally hedge this week, Daniel.
No, we are emotion free. We're coming in
kind of
we're coming in loose.
Well, that's okay. Now all of a sudden I'm losing confidence in your and I's ability. We are free of inhibition, very loose, and things are going to get weird in a hurry. I can almost guarantee it. If you're on the audio side, thanks for listening to us. If you're on the YouTube side, go over to the audio side, subscribe. Download, like, do all the things, comment, Dawgs podcast, and get in the subtext, which is in the description for each one of the titles of the audio as well as YouTube. Thanks for the $1.99 loyal third segment listeners. We got a little special thing for you at the end of today's episode. We're going to give you some really just intestinal fortitude bets that you really need to make. That it's going to take the one. Just need to go for it, but it takes the $1.99. So, Daniel, let's start on the card.
Mm-hmm. You love this card, by the way.
I love this card.
Can't get enough of this slate
because I think again I have no inhibitions with Georgia, Daniel. That's why I think I feel so free. So it's like a child in a field of flowers in the summer, just running for days, no care in the world. I don't care that there's a badger on the other side of the hill waiting to pounce. I don't care right now.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Before we get into the lines for the week. Our good friends over at FanDuel.
Yeah.
Are currently going to let you.
Here we go.
Lay 23.5 points.
Yeah.
Next weekend
I told
in the cocktail party. We teased it yesterday.
Told you there's 23.5.
Are you willing to make a lock on a week early lock on this game? At the cocktail party right now.
By the way, it's the same line, almost identical to last year's line about this time for the cocktail party, Daniel, which is very curious to me. Very curious to me. We have a better offense, not a better defense. It's very unique heading into the cocktail party. I refuse.
Better offense? Better offense than last year?
Yes.
With uncertainty at Brock Bowers.
Okay, so thank you for bringing up the point. I'm making no bet on anything Georgia related until I speak to the lead medical examiner of the MRI tech machine that Brock Bowers is going into. No, I'm not making any bet on this game.
I'm locking up Florida plus 23.5. I said it yesterday.
You said if you can get it
a week early lock. Obviously, reserve the right to change my mind before next week's lock. But I'm telling you,
you can't. That's a lock.
Well, I can. I can just bet more money on if the line moves or if I like it. I'm locking up. I am betting my actual money right now on Florida plus 23.5. I don't see a world in which this game is not closer than 3 touchdowns, Clint.
Do you realize? I hope you realize that if I made this bet, I would be abjectly, with 100% certainty, be thrown out of any dog fandom group whatsoever.
Let him come.
But the man
tell him to get in line. If they got a problem, Tell them to get in line. I'm not worried. You take my fan card away all you want. I don't care.
But the man over here, born and bred in Georgia, you just have more clout, is what I'm saying. You have more leeway than.
I've been going to Georgia games since before most of y'all have been born, so I'm not worried about any of that.
He's somewhere in between late and early stage of
midlife.
life.
I wouldn't call me middle-aged, but I wouldn't call it late-aged either.
I'm not going to say late. You use your definitions, Daniel. Okay.
All right. Let's get to the lines for this week. Give me your lock of the week, Clint. Give me the one that if you could only make one, this is the one you're going.
Lock of the week, Daniel. This is coming off of a team that just got absolutely embarrassed. This is also a team that has everything in front of them to play for. They literally have everything in front of them to play for. Top 4 team going into college football playoff, has everything to go, coming off a team that absolutely just got embarrassed. And that's the Oklahoma Sooners against the UCF Knights. This line is 18.5. Daniel.
Okay.
UCF don't care about no defense.
Okay.
Brent Venables got that defense turned around from last year, like in a big way. Y'all want to do a sneaky team that can make some noise. College football playoff. Oklahoma is that team. They play sound defense. I don't think they got the players on the defensive side. They got a player and quarterback, I'll tell you that much right now, in an offensive system that's doing well. My lock of the week, Oklahoma Sooners lay the points of the 18.5 to UCF. They're gonna win this game by 25, 30 points, Daniel. Whatever the over is, take a quick look at that as well. Oklahoma is motivated beyond motivated to play well down the stretch, Daniel.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. It's a lot of points to be laying. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna find a game with a lot of points and I'm gonna take them.
Just give them to me.
Give me the points. All right, let me explain to you what happened on Saturday. 2 things happened on Saturday. Thing number 1, the Washington State football Cougars, wowzers, were beaten 44-6 by the Arizona Wildcats. Now, Clint, Arizona might not be as trash of a team as we previously suspected. They went to triple overtime with USC the week before and then followed that up with an absolute dismantling of the Washington State Cougars.
Yep.
Oregon, on the other hand, got themselves into a dog fight, and probably because of some poor coaching decisions made by our man Dan Lanning, they did not come out victorious on the road in Husky Stadium in Seattle. Now, Oregon's back home. Washington State comes to town. Washington State is catching 19.5 points after being embarrassed last week. Oregon in the letdown spot of all letdown spots.
Oh my gosh.
If there's ever been a game that it's going to be tough to get up for, it's this one. I think Washington State messes around and finds a way to keep this game close. I don't think they're going to win, but give me Washington State and all the points on Saturday.
That's a lot of points, Daniel. To your point, like that amount of spread seems far more distant and unyieldy than the Oklahoma given 18.5 to UCF.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of points. We're going to come back after these, but first, listen to these. Right now, let's talk about Jace Medical. Jace Medical is fantastic. Right now, you need life-saving antibiotics. Don't mess around. Maybe you are a camper or maybe you live in a camper. I don't know which one that is.
You could have or be any of these things.
And you could be called that or just reside in one, but you get it in a camper, you get it in a boat, you get it in an RV or a truck or a car or at your home. Jace Medical gives life-saving medical antibiotics straight to you. Use promo code
Jace Case. That's what it's called.
The Jace
you
case.
Go in there, you order the Jace Case. It's got everything you need right there. They're trained pharmacists and physicians. They walk you through this questionnaire. They get to know your health needs. They get to know your medical history, all of this. And then the medications that you need delivered right to you. Like Clint said, put one in your house, you put one in your boat, you put one in your RV, wherever it is, you put one in your, your guest house, your vacation home, wherever it is that you might find yourself, and then it's there for you. So go to JaceMedical.com and get yours today. Use the promo code Locked On and you get $20 off your first order. That's JaceMedical.com and use the promo code Locked On for $20 off.
But also, Daniel, we have FanDuel. FanDuel.com/LockedOnCollege. All of these things we're talking about now. The lines of 23.5 that you can go get on the Georgia-Florida line right now, that you can take Daniel's advice and go give, just take them points. Take them points.
Why not take the points?
Bet on Florida to cover. That's what he says. Again, he's
hedge emotionally. I've hedged emotionally.
FanDuel.com/Locked On. Make every moment more over on FanDuel. They're the official sportsbook of Locked On College Football, Locked On Bulldogs, and Locked On Podcasts everywhere right now. If you go over there, you place a bet, it doesn't cash. It's $5 more. It cashes or doesn't cash. It doesn't matter. They're going to give you bonus bets right back to your account. FanDuel.com/Locked On College, the most trusted sportsbook by Locked On podcast hosts like Daniel and myself. FanDuel.com/Locked On. All right.
How many more you got?
Let me take a look. Well, as usual, we got plenty of logs, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more for certain.
I got 4 more for certain as well. So we'll see where we go after that.
Okay. I'm going to go to a team that's really hot right now, playing very well, against a team that is not playing well and classically hasn't played well, Daniel. And for this, I'm going to go to the academies. Now, if you don't know what the academies are,
service academies.
Service academies are fantastic. Navy's playing admirable football this year. They've kept it close against Memphis. But Memphis is not a very good team. South Florida, not a very good team. Didn't keep it close. North Texas beat Charlotte and kept it close and beat the pants off of Wagner. But this just in, Daniel. Air Force is a team.
Air Force is
a whole vibe. They smoked New Mexico. They took it to Colorado State. They beat San Diego State, which is a better team than people know right now. They beat Baylor. I'm sorry. I apologize. Robert Morris. Utah State was the thing I'm thinking of, not San Diego State. Utah State, 39-21 is who they beat. And then they beat San Jose State, and that is a very, very good team this year. And Daniel went up and played Old Wyoming, your favorite Cowboys.
In Laramie?
Old Laramie, and beat Wyoming. This game is only a 10-point spread, and that's too few points. Give me Air Force laying the 10.
The Falcons.
Navy. Please give me the Falcons. They're gonna cruise.
Well, Air Force Navy certainly game of the week status. I mean, we're hitting all the big games here. I'm going to go to a lesser game. It's the big nooner. It's Penn State, Ohio State. Maybe you've heard of them.
This is one of the intestinal fortitudes that I was wondering if Daniel would make.
Listen, you don't have to blink at this line. You don't have to look at this line. You have to answer one simple question.
Look at the teams.
Who's the better team?
Okay.
And are you going to get to bet on them and get points?
You're giving me points.
Because if so, I'll take Penn State +4, just 8 days a week, twice on Sunday. It's not a question in my mind. Ohio State ain't it this year. This is a team that's still going to win a lot of football games, but they do not have it. Kyle McCord, I think, is playing admirably, but he is not it. Obviously, those receivers are electric and they are fantastic. I do not trust Ohio State's ability to get them the ball. And I do trust this Penn State team. I think Penn State's been waiting for this and tuning up for this game all season long. And they get Michigan at home. Penn State knows that if they win this game on the road at Ohio State, and it is on the road and it is at Ohio State, that is a difficult ask. But you're telling me I just got to keep this thing within 4.5 and I'm going to cash? Yeah, give me Penn State +4.5. I think they're going to win on the field.
Don't hate that at all. I'm going to give you, which one do you want? By the way, that's one of the logs that I was thinking about giving, and I'm absolutely giving it. Give me Penn State as well. Give me all the points. I'm jumping on. Would you like an over or an under?
Let's go with an under.
This is the third lowest point total ever given out by Vegas in a football game.
I'm sorry, I said I wanted the under.
Yeah, no, I understand. You said you wanted the under.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to bet the under on the third lowest point total ever in a college football game in the history of college football.
The first was Iowa against Minnesota last year. The next was Iowa in a bowl game. And the third is Iowa this year against Minnesota. In those other games, the under cashed. The under, historically low under against Minnesota last year was 10-13. I don't see any reason to change because the teams haven't changed that much. The coaches haven't changed that much. The people don't change that much. It's the Midwest. They're the same they were in 1978.
They're the same people.
Literally.
They may not have even aged.
I don't know.
They're still there.
They put tomato juice and pickle in beer and think it's acceptable to drink, and it's not a Bloody Mary.
I'm telling you right now, they're having the same conversations they were back then. Those haven't changed either. It's all the same.
It's all the same. Give me the under. Iowa and Minnesota, 32.5. It's going to be a low scoring affair.
32.5. I couldn't jump on this quick enough. I ain't scared of 32.5. I ask you, Clint, is 10-6 under or over 32.5?
Yes.
It's under. It's way under, and we're going to cash this thing easy. Like,
we're going to row in that boat up to
we're going to
the checkout.
PJ Fleck ain't rowed no boat in many a year. I'm gonna take the under in this as well. I'm gonna go. Do you want? Yeah, I'm gonna give you one more before the break. Let me see. Do you want an SEC game, or do you want a different SEC game? Because those are the two that I have left.
I would like the second of the SEC games.
All right. We covered this on the podcast yesterday. Talked about both these teams at length. South Carolina, not good.
They're not
at all.
They're not.
Missouri, playing some inspired football. Eli Drinkowitz, post-game comments. He has asked, your team is bowl eligible in the middle of October. How does that make you feel?
What do you say?
He says, why would we stop? Like, what does that matter to me? And we're not. That's not what we're. Why would we stop now?
Why am I talking about bowl eligibility?
Exactly. It's an insulting question, and I like the mindset of a coach like Eli Drinkowitz. He's not going to be looking past this game. There's a bye week next week for Missouri. They're not going to. There's no look ahead to Georgia. There's none of that that you have to fear. South Carolina is tremendously bad. This game is in Missouri.
Yeah.
And it's less than a touchdown. I have to lay less than a touchdown. 6.5 points. Give me this. Give me Missouri minus 6.5.
That was another log I had as well. So double that one up because my gosh, this might be the nails on the coffin for Beamer might be starting to mount.
The losses are going to start piling up here. They really needed to beat Florida.
They had to beat Florida to make this season not look as bad, and it's gonna look bad, like historically bad. For expectations, not for the program itself, but for expectations. We're gonna come back after this for the 199 and give out some more, but first, these. And these are eBay Motors. Daniel and I have been many a places together on the road.
Sure,
we've seen many a things.
Out there.
We've gone to Clemson for some basketball games. We've gone down to Athens. We've gone nary all the places that one might want with 4 children who might or might not be sick in a car.
Just violently ill in an automobile.
But that's where eBay Motors comes in because no matter what happens in that car, we know we're taken care of. Whether Daniel gets in an accident and busts a right headlight,
which didn't happen.
Which did not happen.
In case my wife is listening to the podcast, did not happen.
She's not.
Yep, she ain't.
ebaymotors.com. The right parts, the right fit, the right price, no matter what you have. And right now, U.S. customers, you get this guarantee. If you put your car into the garage, the part that comes up will have a visual way for you to check that it is, in fact, the right part for the right fit, the right price for your car's guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. Get over to ebaymotors.com right now, put in your car into your garage and be absolutely assured that the part that you're shopping for is going to fit your vehicle. ebaymotors.com. Okay, you gave me a few. I think you got one more if my count is correct. Okay, I'm going to give you an over and then just a straight line. And this over is this, Daniel. And look, LSU, not a good football team.
No, but what do they do every week?
Score points.
The over cashes. Did your boy cash on the over last week?
58 points is this week against Army. Army got shut out last week. I think they're going to score points. And again, it's LSU's defense. If you need a get-right game for any team in America, even Army, even a service academy, even not having a prolific passing attack, it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter. They're bad, and they like LSU might get 58 just on their dang
LSU
own.
might score 58.
Give me the over, Daniel.
Man's taking over in an LSU Army game. This is where we are.
Ain't scared.
All right, my last one is listen. Okay. I don't know that either of these teams is very good. But I do know that one of them is playing at home. And one of them is definitely better than the other one.
Okay.
And one of them is going to be playing with a little bit of extra motivation.
A little juice.
A little juice, little gasoline on the fire, if you will. I think Alabama's going to roll Tennessee on Saturday.
Roll.
I think, and that's not a pun intended. I think Alabama's going to absolutely just drag Tennessee around the yard. I'm not sure Tennessee will score in this game. Like, I think they will, but I'm not sure Tennessee's going to score points.
Now, Daniel, I haven't seen the line for this game, and it's not on my card. So I'm going to make what I would feel comfortable making a bet on this game if I was laying points.
Yeah, if you were going to lay points with Alabama, give me your limits.
I would feel great at 15, 16 points.
9.5. Yeah. We're at 9. We're under a 10 spot. Yeah, Alabama's going to win this game by double digits.
Yeah,
that's
double digits.
That's just a fact of life.
It's a fact.
So,
okay, going to one more, and this is look. I hate to belabor a horse that has not only been killed and mocked and dragged.
The horse is deceased long ago.
But what if I was to say that the horse is not a horse but an amphibious toad? And TCU Horned Frogs. Oh, brother.
They actually do have that horse. No, like the horse on Twitter. Yeah, like that's the beauty of you are literally beating a dead horse.
TCU is a very, 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 very
what
bad
had happened was Sonny Dykes.
And then And then what happened?
Oh no.
You just said Sonny Dykes, and so
no, I was done.
Yeah, no, you
did. Did you not get it?
Kansas State played Missouri close to 3 points. They played UCF. Oklahoma State, that was a weird game. And then your boy took them to cover against Texas Tech, and they did just that this last weekend. I think they're hitting stride. TCU is a very, very bad football team. Kansas State is a very talented, well-coached team. And right now, I am only giving 7.5. That hook is there to scare you away. Don't be scared by it. Don't be scared by the hook. The 7.5 is just there to get you off this line because I am taking Kansas State, giving 7.5 to TCU. TCU is bad. Can't even compete.
I don't hate it at all. I don't hate it one bit. A lot of good football this weekend. Not Georgia.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Give me Florida plus the points. But enjoy the games. Enjoy the games this weekend.
Stop saying it.
Nobody's going to listen to the podcast.
Nobody's listening to it anymore.
All right. We'll see you.